Hello, this is an analysis of the Genesis Marble and Granite Refinishing Company website. So we have this website here, which is a Squarespace template, and we have this nice big picture on the top. I'd like to see the font a little bit larger because you have the space for it. You may as well make the font a little bit larger. It's a little bit hard to read here, but that's okay. So as we go down, we have a little quotation there, and then we have two small sentences, and really that's all. You really should have a lot more text on the home page for sure. That's very important. We go to the About page, and we have another picture here and a little bit more text, which I think it's good. This is a good amount of text. And then we've got the stone care tips, which is all original wording, which is good. You might want to check the font size because this is very, very tiny and kind of hard to read, especially at small sizes. So that really should be made larger. It's really, gosh, I mean, I have glasses on. I'm having trouble reading it. And then we've got the contact page with an email form. So I want to go take a look at the source code, and you can do that by hitting Control U at the same time. You can see the source code for any website, and here's your source code. So you can see there's a lot of, being that it's a Squarespace website, a template site, there's a lot of junk code. I mean, just look at that. There's just a lot of junk code. The problem with template sites is that Google does not understand a lot of this junk code because this is specific to Squarespace. It's proprietary coding that Google doesn't understand. So when Google crawls your website to determine how and where to rank you, the first line of code that Google encounters that it doesn't understand, it's going to jump right off and go to the next website. And this happens within milliseconds. So that's one of the reasons, just one of the many reasons why a template site is really not good for search ranking. The other issue I see here is every page of the website needs to have a page title and a page description and alt tags for your images. So if I do a search for title, I see that you do have a page title. However, Granite is misspelled. So this is a big deal because this is what's showing in your search results, in your Google search results. So if we go here, we go down here, in Google, that's what's showing. And if Granite is misspelled, that's gonna hurt your rankings because Google is going to look, if someone types in Granite with an E, to Google, that's different than Granite without an E. So that should be corrected. Also, every page, and each page title should be different for each page. The description tag, you have here Genesis Marble okay, well that's grammatically incorrect. We need to have an A in there. Genesis Marble is a stone restoration company that helps you maintain and enjoy the natural beauty of your home. Professional stone restoration. Okay, so you need to have a geographical area in here in order for Google to know where to rank you. Because if you just say stone restoration or marble restoration or granite refinishing, you need to have a location. So you're in Egg Harbor Township, so if you're only targeting Egg Harbor Township, you need to mention that in the description. If you're targeting, say, Atlantic County, you need to mention that in the description. So that's an issue there. The other issue is Google cannot see inside images. Google doesn't know by looking at an image what the image is. So you have to tell Google what the image is, and that's what the alt tags are for. So you have this image here with an alt tag, Genesis Marble, and again, Granite Refinishing. Same thing with the misspelling. That doesn't really say anything. That it needs to be your keywords, your services, and your geographical area. Just a very, very small, just a couple of words. We go down here, we see the same thing. There's another image here, and the alt tag, it just says Genesis. That means, and this one's even worse, Gen 2, Genesis. So these alt tags are meaningless. And this is a lost opportunity here for your search ranking because you really want to include those alt tags. So that's it as far as the coding. I mean, I could go page by page, but it would just take way too long. The major issue with this website, and this is usually the case with template sites, is page load speed. That means how long the website takes to load. Now, if you try to load the website yourself, it's going to come up right away because you've been to your website before. Your website is already in your browser cache and it comes up in a split second. However, a new visitor to your website, it's going to take a while to load, especially on a phone. Some people might not want to take the time to wait, and even if they do, page load speed is a major Google search ranking factor. If your website takes too long to load, the website's not going to rank as well. And you're really gonna love this page. Google page speed insights. It's by Google, and you can put any website in here, and it'll tell you what the page speed is. Your page speed on a mobile device is 19 out of 100. That is abysmal. I don't think I've ever seen a page speed that slow. Without even looking at the reasons why, I know what the reasons are, but just so you can see, just in writing on this page, you can see what the reasons are. First of all, your logo. Your logo is humongous. Now, if you look at the logo on here, it's really small. So, but you're taking a really large image and compressing it using coding, which is the wrong thing to do. This is your image. That is huge, and it has all this detail here, and the file size is like 1.2 megs. It's a huge image file. So this is what is on your website, and you're using the coding to compress it. Again, that's wrong. You need to compress the image file, so the image itself is this size. And that image would only be it would be tiny. It would be a tiny, tiny little image. It would not affect your page speed. Same thing with this huge image at the top. Now, the problem, I mean, that's a huge image with a lot of detail. It doesn't look like anyone even tried to compress it. There are programs that you can use to compress it. Being that this does take up the whole top of your website, it's a little bit difficult to make the image file really, really small because, again, it takes up the whole top of your website. There are things that you can do to make it smaller. That's one of the reasons why I don't really build websites that have these huge, huge pictures on top. And then you also have another one, same thing. This picture is just as big. And that's really slowing down the loading of here's the second picture of the web page. When we go down a little further, we see there's some other things that are blocking it, but here's it's basically showing you here's what the issues are. So Squarespace, there's a lot of junk code in here, a lot of JavaScript that you don't need that's specific to Squarespace that helps the Squarespace website run. This is why Squarespace and other template sites are so slow, because you've got all this junk code. You can't remove it. It's part of your template. Then they're using Adobe Typekit, and your Adobe fonts are humongous. And again, there's other things that you can do and then you also have Google Fonts on top of it. So between that and you've got these images that are humongous. You can see the sizes of everything. It's just, there's certain things that you can do to make this website faster. Like I said, with the images, compressing the images, making them smaller, but you can't do anything about the Squarespace stuff that's taking up all those resources, because that's part of Squarespace. That's part of the template. So that's definitely an issue. This is very, very slow, and that's really going to cause a problem with your website ranking. Other thing is, I'm looking at your CSS code. The CSS code is what helps to, that runs the formatting of your website. Now, every website out there on the planet, even Google's own websites, are going to have a certain amount of errors because they might use coding that might be a little bit obsolete but still works, and it's backwards compatible. So in that case, it's not truly an error, but sometimes Google will show it as an error. But that's not an issue. The issue is that there's 47 errors here. That's a bit excessive. That's way more errors than you should have. And again, I find that to be the case with template sites in general. Just because it's a template site by a big company doesn't mean that it's not prone to errors. So all these errors are going to cause an issue with your website ranking because Google is looking for clean, error-free coding. And if you have a lot of errors on your website, the website's not going to rank well. Oh, I also need to mention another very, very important thing. Your website is not secure. And you can see right here it says not secure. If it were secure, it would have a little lock next to it. And if you click on here, it says your connection is not secure. Don't enter any sensitive information. No passwords, blah, blah, blah. Can be stolen by attackers. Nobody's going to be entering that information anyway, even though you do have an email contact form. However, the biggest reason for having a secure website is a couple of years ago, Google made an announcement saying that Google wants all websites to be secure. If your website is not secure, they're going to rank you lower in search rankings. So there's just another reason why your website's not going to rank well. You can get an SSL certificate from your web hosting company. They charge you for that. It's not much. And just install that and it'll make your website secure. So that's something that is very important that should be done. What else? Oh, so if I look at the pages on your website, and you can do this with any website, just type in SITE : no space, and then your website address. It'll show you all the pages on your website that Google is crawling. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6 pages. One of these pages, however, is not. There's no way to get to it on your website, and it's a test page. It's protecting stone top surfaces. Coming soon, carrot and kale. You got a picture of an avocado or whatever. I don't know what type of fruit that is, but you got something there. So that page should be hidden from search engines because there's nothing on it. Because if somebody does go and they're searching for your company and they see that and they go there, you don't really want that to be there. So that page should be hidden. So if we do a search just for your company name, I see you do have a lot of listings out there. You're on Angie's List, you're on Granite Land, you're on you're on Google Places or Google Business Listings. But if you click on website, it takes you to another website that I guess perhaps you used to have, maybe that you're not using anymore. It's looks like a GoDaddy, Google. It's a Google site. So you've got this Google site out there. I don't know why you have, it's a one-page website. Okay, so this website isn't really helping you at all. You really should not have more than one website for the same company because even though neither of them is ranking well, they're both going to be competing with each other. And you really want the active website. The website that you're really using should be the one that shows up on all of your listing sites. So I'm wondering if that's the case with all of your listings. So if we go to Yelp, for instance, now Yelp is unclaimed. Anyone can claim this and claim. So now this one is going to the right website. So that's something to think about. Broken link checker. Okay, so on the bottom of your website, you have 2 links. You have one for Facebook, one for your Facebook page, and one for your LinkedIn page. Neither of those links work. So if we go to your LinkedIn, there's nothing there. There's no profile there. If we go to your Facebook, there's nothing there. So you really shouldn't even have those there because people are expecting that those links are going to work and they don't. So those should be removed. So, okay, so if I type in, pretending I'm, living in Egg Harbor and I'm looking for granite refinishing. If I type in Harbor granite refinishing, you do come up, which is good. Now, only your contact page is coming up. I'm sorry, not your Hire Us page. So if I click on that, it only takes you to, wait a minute. Okay, well that's, okay, so why is that okay, so this, all right, this is kind of messed up here. So you have a Hire Us page, but there's no way to get to the Hire Us page on your website, and it's not even a Hire Us page, it's a contact page, but yet you already have a contact page. Contact! So something is not working right here. Also, you have a stone care tips page, but the name of the page is new page. It should be called, natural stone and tile care. You want the page names to be descriptive. So the about page should maybe be about Genesis marble and granite. So those page titles themselves should be descriptive. So that there's a couple of issues there. Now if we type in, so that's just for the company name. So obviously you're showing up for Egg Harbor Township Granite Refinishing. Well, that's in your company name, so of course you're going to come up. But only the reason that this Hire Us page is coming up, and the only reason is because it's the only page on your website that shows where you're located. None of your other pages have a location or a target demographic, and they should. Because just going to your website, I have no idea where you're located. There's not even... Oh, and here's another big issue too. There's no phone number on your homepage. And people want to see a phone number right away. You don't want to have to force them to click contact us just to see the phone number. So and this is not a clickable number anyway. So on a mobile device, it should come up saying, do you want to... So this is not a click to call number on a mobile device, which is also an issue. Also, you should never have an email address on your website. If you do, the email address is going to get harvested by spam bots, and you'll get a lot of spam. Now, you're probably not getting a lot of spam right now because this website is really not getting found on Google, but if it were a search-friendly website, having this email address on your website would be really bad because you'd be getting a ton of spam. And that's what this email form is for, so that you don't get spam. So luckily, okay, so this is actually working properly. However, I'll bet it's not protecting against spam. We sell Viagra at Viagra.com. Are you interested in, gambling products and Canadian pharmacy drugs? So these are all spammy type words that go to pharmacy, Viagra. Everything on here should be blocked. This email should never go through. But let's see if it does. Hey, it went through. So your email form is not really protected from spammers. So that's something that needs to be addressed. So you're ranking for Egg Harbor Township, but that's really because it's showing up in the Google Maps section. To be in the Google Maps section, you don't even have to have a website. So, but what if you're not in Egg Harbor Township? I'm sure that you don't only serve Egg Harbor Township. So say Atlantic County. Well, Granite Refinishing is part of your company name, so I think you're still going to come up. Okay, so you do come up in the map section, but your website's not coming up at all, and your website should come up. If I put in, say, let's see here, we've got marble refinishing. I wonder if that would come up. Marble refinishing. Okay, so you do come up because that's in your company name, Marble and Granite Refinishing, which is fantastic. But again, Is your maybe your website is coming up? No, your website is still not coming up. And I'll bet even if I go to page 2, will it be there? Oops. No, you're not even on page 2 of Google. Let's try page 3. You're not on page 3 of, so if you're not on the first 3 pages, forget it at that point. So your website's not ranking. The only reason it's ranking for Granite Refinishing is because that's your company name, and it's only ranking in the map section. So with everything that I mentioned, there are some things that you can do to fix this, but for the most part, especially because of the page speed issues, there's really nothing that you're going to be able to do to make that better. I would say you maybe just try to work on getting those pictures made smaller. Definitely have to compress those images for sure, and go with a different site other than Squarespace. What was it? Squarespace? Yeah, other than Squarespace, don't go with any type of a template company. You're gonna have to get a whole new website, one that's going to target your geographical locations better, one that is not going to be a template site. It's going to come up very quickly, not going to have so many coding errors. So yes, if you have any questions about anything that I pointed out, or you want to give me a call and maybe talk about getting a new website built, you can contact me anytime. You can call me or text me at 609-914-1318. My name is Terry Brooks. The company is T. Brooks Web Design. I'm in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, but I work with companies all across the country, mostly contractors, home improvement related companies, so this would be a good fit. And I hope to hear from you soon. Have a wonderful day.